Creating a new event in Wix is pretty straightforward, and it's essentially the same thing as creating a new class type like we have on our website, like a chill flow or Vinyasa, Yangdian, etc. But there are a couple little differences in setting this up so that it doesn't appear on the regular kind of yoga schedule, but rather appears on the events page, as well as just a couple of booking policies that I've set up so that it's just a little bit unique to workshops so that people can book into workshops well ahead of time compared to, I think the default for our yoga classes is like a week or 10 days. But often we'll put a workshop up for people to book into sometimes months in advance and have a slightly different cancellation policy. So I'll show you how to set this up. It's pretty easy. I do want to point out a couple of little elements when we're getting information from the person who wants to host a workshop. One of those is just a thumbnail image that's going to show on the main events page. Obviously, we need the title of the workshop. This here is just a short tidbit. There's a very limited space that you'll see in a second. Of course, we need the duration so that we know how much rent to charge and also to show up here, as well as the price, obviously. So there's a little bit of a few elements that you get on the events page itself, but when you click into the actual workshop, there are a couple of additional elements here, one of which is just this big wide image. So this is a different image than what you just saw on the events page, which was a thumbnail, and usually this is formatted as a landscape image so that it fits this page a bit nicer. Same title as before, same tidbit as before, but below is where we have the space for the full-length description. Notice in the tidbit here, I usually just type in the date so that somebody can see it at the top of the page here, but also so that it appears on the regular events page because Wix doesn't populate an actual date here with whatever's on the schedule. So just found that's a little bit easier for people to see a date at a glance by just typing this in. So with a little familiarity on the different elements, let's go ahead and set up a workshop that is coming up here. So I want to go into the Wix dashboard. This can be found under the catalog and then booking services. So this is where you'll find all of the booking services that include all of our different class types, as well as all of the workshops that we've ever done on this view of the screen here, which shows all categories. So there are a couple of categories. We have yoga, that's just our standard yoga classes, and then special events. And this will filter the things that are currently showing on the events page. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new service here. I'm going to toggle back and forth with the email that I've got with the detail in it. So this, as opposed to an appointment, is a class. Doesn't really matter. I can use one of these as a template, but I'll just start from scratch as a class type. So the name of this, I'm going to toggle over to the email. This is called Whispers of the Heart. Just going to copy that, paste that into here. So the tagline, that is what you see is this little tidbit here. So I usually kind of grab that out of the main description and then add the date so that it can be shown at a glance here. So this is on Monday, the 17th of November. So I'll just start to type that. Monday, 17th November at 7:30 p.m. I'll add a little space here. And then I will paste in like this first line of the description here. You can see run out of characters pretty quickly here. I've got a few more characters though. I can grab a little bit more. Okay, that's all you get. So I'll just add a few dots. And then here I can type in the full description. So I'll grab all of that text. This is a pretty short description in this case, but I'm just going to paste that in there. And then I'm actually just going to copy this so it's included in the description as well. Okay, this doesn't actually say who this is with. I don't know who this is actually with. So with Mike Kelly. Okay. So I'm actually gonna shorten this a little bit. Mike Kelly. And then I'll paste this in. Sorry, this is a little bit clunky for this video, but you will get the idea. Okay. Anyway, so here is the image. So this is the placeholder or the little thumbnail image that we saw a moment ago. So I'm going to upload the image that I got out of that email. This picture of Mike Kelly. I'll add this to the page. Max participants, we usually set this to 30. And then a couple of key things here. So visible on the site and the app, but I don't want this to show in the yoga category. I want it to show on the special events. That's what's going to make it show on the actual events page. Come down to pricing. Normally this would be a fixed price. You'd type in 50 or 75 bucks, but this is actually free in this instance. Add-ons, that's like tips and things like that. We don't need to do anything with that. Locations. So I will save and continue so I can update the location. Okay, and this is going to be at Bulai Surf Club. If you don't have a location showing here, you can just type in a custom location for a specific one-off event. Don't need to do anything with tax. I'm going to come back to this sessions here to get it to show up on the timetable. But for now, I just want to show you a kind of a key thing to update for workshops that is different from yoga classes. So it's this booking policy section here. Instead of using the default policy, which lets clients book in only 10 days before and also enables clients to cancel out whenever they want to, I've set up a custom workshop booking policy, which has a different cancellation policy, and it also is going to make it visible on the site, I think up to 60 days before. I think that's how I set it up. Okay, online bookings and then default booking form. I also have, I thought I had a custom form. No, I'm just going to go with the default. And that is pretty much it for that. I'm going to save. And actually, from doing that, if I refresh this page here, I'm assuming this is going to show up. It is. Okay, there it is. So it's on the page, but it is in the wrong order. So to adjust the order, I'm going to go to special events, and then I just grab that and drag it. I usually just do these in chronological order. So I think that's the very next one chronologically. So if I refresh the page, it should show up at the very top now. Let's try it again. Okay. So it's on the page, but if I go into read more about the event, there's nowhere for me to actually book this yet. It says services not available. Contact for more info. So this is because I didn't actually put a session in on the workshop. So if I go to edit, if I scroll down to schedule, here I can add sessions. And this was on Monday, the 17th. I do need to choose a staff member. And in this case, this Mike Kelly isn't set up as a staff. So for the moment, I am going to select Lana for that one. I'm going to set this to 7:30 p.m. She didn't give me the duration for this, so I'm just going to leave it at an hour. Can update it later. I might come back to this page. There was a glitch in Wix where it wasn't showing up on the timetable. So I might come back to this in a moment, but let's just hit save and see if this is now working. Okay, so it's working from the events page. So if I come into this from the events page, You can see I now have the Book Now button. So that's all working as expected. However, one nice thing to check is just to see if it's actually showing up on the timetable. And this is the thing that was a glitch before. So let's see if it shows up here. It's next week on the 17th. Okay. So it is now showing up properly. I'll just show you what that glitch was, just in case it ever comes up. Something I had to do previously. Edit the schedule. For some reason, it was never showing up if I only put the one session, so I had to make it a recurring event, even if it was a one-off session. Maybe that's irrelevant here because it looks like it's working properly. But that is pretty much it. I do need to still come back and set Mike Kelly up as a staff member so that the proper name shows up here. But maybe I'll save that for a separate video.